Hey everyone, Nami here, and in today's video we are going to be talking about relic farming, specifically the best missions to run for each relic tier so you're never wasting a single minute of your grind. Having an efficient relic farm is something every Tenno needs to have figured out, and honestly, a lot of people are running suboptimal nodes without even realizing it. So by the end of this video, you're going to have a clear roadmap for every single relic tier, Lith, Meso, Neo, and Axi. Before we dive in, I just want to say quickly, the approaches here are simple. We want missions with fast rotations, some missions with dense enemy spawns, and reward pools that aren't cluttered with a bunch of junk you don't care about. That's the philosophy behind every recommendation I'm going to give you today, so let's get into it. Starting off with Lith Relics, and this is an easy one. The absolute best mission for farming Lith Relics is Hepit on Void. Hepit is a capture mission, and the reason it's so good is that the reward pool is almost exclusively Lith Relics and Aya. There's no filler. You run in, you capture the target, you get your reward, and you're back at the start in under 2 minutes or less. That's the kind of efficiency we're looking for. Now, because this is a capture mission, the Warframe choice matters if you want to do this effectively. A fast frame here, something that can cover ground quickly and get to the capture target without wasting time, is what you'd want. Volt, Gauss, or Titania are your best friends here. I personally run Titania, and I want to explain why I've specifically gone with her over the others. I've subsumed Thermal Sunder for Gauss onto her, replacing her third ability. The reason for this is that capture missions can sometimes flip into exterminate missions mid-run. If you've played Warframe for any decent amount of time, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes suddenly the game tells you that you need to eliminate a certain number of enemies before you can extract after capturing the target. Thermal Sunder solves that problem entirely. You hold down the ability to trigger the heat damage and enemies get wiped out and you're back on track. So Titania gives me the best of both worlds. Fast reversal with Razor Wing and a nuke ability to deal with those unexpected exterminate conditions. I'll be going over the full Titania build later in the video, and the good news is that the same build works perfectly for the other few relic farming methods that I'm about to cover as well. Moving up to Meso or Neo Relics, if you want to farm both at the same time, the best place to go is Ukko, which is also in the Void. Ukko is another capture mission, and its reward pool gives you a 50-50 chance at either a Meso Relic or a Neo Relic, with Aya also in the pool. Same philosophy as Hepit, fast mission, clean reward pool, consistent results. And again, the same Titania build handles this perfectly. Now, if you're specifically going after Meso Relics and you don't want to share those rotation slots with Neo, there are two dedicated options I'd recommend. The first is Io on Jupiter, which is a defense mission, and the second is Helene on Saturn, which is also a defense mission. Both of these missions have Meso Relics in their rotation A reward pool. Before I go further, I want to quickly explain how rotation rewards work in most endless mission types, because this applies to defense, survival, interception, and other endless missions. Most of these missions follow an AABC rotation pattern, meaning your first two reward checkpoints are both rotation A rewards, your third is a rotation B reward, and your fourth is a rotation C. After that, the cycle resets back to AABC. This is important because it means the quality of your rewards doesn't just keep climbing the longer you stay. For Io or Helene specifically, since rotation A is what carries Meso Relics, you only need to stay for the first 3 to 6 waves before extracting. Up to 6 waves, you'd get 2 rotation A rewards, you then extract and repeat. It's a clean loop, and you're never sitting through rotations B or C, which don't give you Meso Relics anyways. Both Io and Helene have a nice secondary benefit as well. On Io, you have a chance to pick up Hexanon, a Jupiter exclusive resource, and also Oxium, which are used in several crafting recipes. And on Helene, you have a chance of getting Orokin cells, one of the most universally needed crafting resources in the game. So even on shorter runs, you're still getting good supplemental drops. Here is the Titania build that I use for all the farming methods I have mentioned up until now. An alternate budget build would look something like this if you do not have Arcane Energize. For the dex picks here, this is something that I would use, though it would only mostly be used for damaging the capture target. For Neo Relics exclusively, I want to point you towards the disruption mission on Uranus. This one is a bit different from the other recommendations, and I will also be using Khora for this, for which I will have a build later ahead in the video. Rotations B and C on this node drop Neo Relics exclusively with a small chance at Universal Medallion mixed in at rotation C. Now, Disruption works differently compared to other endless mission types, and it's worth explaining properly because it changes how you approach farming it. In most endless missions, as I mentioned earlier, your rotation resets back to A after every full AABC cycle. Disruption breaks that pattern in a couple of ways. First, in every round where you successfully defend all 4 conduits, you skip rotation A entirely and jump straight to rotation B. This means your effective reward rotation becomes BBCC instead of AABC right away. You're getting better rewards more consistently just by being competent at the mission. And once you reach rotation C from round 4 onwards, as long as you're defending at least 3 conduits per round, you stay at rotation C permanently for the rest of the session. You don't cycle back. The longer you stay, the more rotation C rewards you accumulate, which is exactly what you want. I'd strongly recommend running this mission on Steel Path since Acolyte spawns every 5 minutes or so and drop steel essences, which I'll be talking about more in a bit. In terms of squad size, running with a full group of 4 is ideal since it increases enemy density and makes keys drop faster, but solo works fine too. One more thing about this node is that Demolishers have a chance to drop the Acarius and Aceltra blueprints, which are both great for mastery points if you haven't built them yet. So it's a solid passive bonus on top of your relic farming. And finally, Axi Relics. For this tier, the best mission in the game right now is the Disruption mission on Apollo Lua. Rotations B and C both drop Axi Relics, and Rotation C also has a small chance at Universal Medallions or a Lua lens. Everything I said about how Disruption rotations work apply here as well. Defend all 4 conduits to skip rotation A and stay at rotation C indefinitely from round 4 onwards as long as you're holding at least 3 conduits. And just like the Uranus node, run this on Steel Path for those Acolyte spawns. I also want to mention that if you do not have Steel Path unlocked, this can be easily done on the normal mode as well. However, I do want to flag something important about Apollo specifically. The longer you stay in the mission, the more Corpus Nullifiers start showing up, and if you're running a Warframe that struggles to deal with Nullifier bubbles, this can force you to extract earlier than you'd like. My personal solution for this is Khora. Khora's Whipclaw can hit through Nullifier bubbles, which most damaging abilities simply cannot do, making her incredibly reliable for extended Apollo runs. And as a bonus, the same Khora build deletes Acolytes without breaking a sweat. So those 5-minute spawns are never a disruption to your farming rhythm. Here is the Khora build I use. Here's what I use for Whipclaw. I am also using 4 Tauron Violet Shards for melee crit damage and 1 Tauron Yellow Shard for casting speed. The build I'm running here is inspired from Ninjase, who posts Warframe builds on overframe.gg, so full credit to him. If you want to know why I have used what I have used, you can check the in-depth written guide from Ninjase for how Khora functions. I'll have a link to the Khora build guide in the description below. Alright, so I've covered all 4 relic tiers. But before I wrap up, I want to talk about 2 additional methods that complement everything we've discussed, because when you stack these on top of your farming runs, the weekly relic volume you can achieve is genuinely impressive. The first method is purchasing relic packs using syndicate standings. Each pack costs 20,000 standings and give you 3 random relics with a chance at Aya as well. The nice thing here is that if you're already running long run disruption missions, you're passively building syndicate standings the entire time. 15% of all affinity you earn in mission goes directly into your syndicate standings. So by the time you extract from a long run, you may already have enough standings to grab a pack or 2 without doing anything extra, as long as you are at least MR8. The second method is using Teshin, who sells a relic pack for 15 steel essences each, and you can purchase it up to 25 times per week. At 3 relics per pack, that's potentially 75 relics per week from Teshin alone, plus any Aya that rolls in those packs brings your realistic weekly total well into the 65 plus range. The catch here is that covering all 25 purchases every week requires a significant amount of steel essences, more than you'll typically generate just from Acolyte drops during your disruption runs. On long sessions, you can definitely knock off a pack or two from what you have earned, but if you want to hit that weekly limit consistently, you'll need to farm essences more deliberately. If you'd like to see a dedicated steel essence farming video, let me know in the comments below and I'll put one together. And that covers everything. Every relic tier from Lith all the way up to Axi. If this was helpful, please leave a like as it genuinely helps push the video out to more people who are struggling with relic farming. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I'm always putting out guides like these. Drop any questions you have in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Until next time, stay grindy Tenno and I'll catch you in the next one.